What's up, boys? It's Devin. I know how it feels to put so much effort into something, to try your hardest, to be relentless and really give it your all. And it seems like nothing that you're doing is working. Nothing is sticking. It feels so discouraging, disheartening. You start to doubt yourself. You start to feel like maybe all my efforts went to waste. And it's this petrifying feeling that, holy shit, maybe I've been wasting my time this entire time. And it's scary. It is scary and it's lonely because you're the only one who took the risk. You're the only one who's been putting in the effort. And you're scared that all of that is going to go to waste because nothing is working. And you start to question yourself. You start to question God. You start to question the people around you. You start to question your choices and say, why did I pick this? Why am I even trying? It's hopeless for me. And I've been there, brother. I've been there. In fact, I'm almost in one of those situations now, but I just don't allow my mind to go there anymore. Because I understand very well, I'm about to break through, and so are you. Hear me out. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that everything that you've done was a waste. But I'm here to tell you, there is no such thing as wasted work. No work goes to waste. All work is profit. So whether you've been trying to break through a plateau in the gym or a breakthrough mentally, something that's been holding you back, and you've been trying to overcome this thing, maybe it's a vice. Maybe you can't stop fapping. Maybe you can't stop drinking and you're trying to break through. You've been working out, but you're not seeing the gains you feel like you deserve. I promise you, failure isn't possible if you're not willing to quit. And the reason that you haven't seen success to this point is because you haven't done this one thing. You haven't just accepted your fate. Accept the fact that you are willing to try and try and try and never quit until you achieve the thing you're trying to achieve. Because once you accept that reality and you say to yourself, I don't care if this takes me 3 years, I'm never gonna quit, then it is impossible for you to fail. And here's the way the world works. There's a book called Reality Transurfing, which teaches you how to basically manifest your reality. And in this book, it states, when you try your very hardest at something, oftentimes when you try and force it to happen on your timeline, the world pushes back. Your goals are like a hot chick. If you double text the chick, she's gonna be repulsed. And your goals are the same way. If you're just trying and trying to squeeze the life out of your goals, if you're trying to gain 10 pounds of muscle and you're forcing it, it's going to pull away from you. But if you detach yourself from the outcome and stop worrying about when you're going to achieve the thing, it's funny how the world works. The world seems to reward you for that, seemingly. Almost like the less you want it, the more you get it. But it's not that you can't have the desire for it in your heart. It's more so you need to detach yourself from the outcome. This is what I've done. Because I've tried things over and over and over, and I've been in points where I feel like quitting, and I'm just not willing to do it. Because the only way you could fail is if you quit. However, I know I said detach yourself from the outcome, and you're like, Devin, that doesn't make any sense. I want to achieve this goal so bad, almost as bad as I want to breathe. And that's great, brother. You're on the right track, but hear me out. What if you just stopped worrying about when it's going to happen? Don't put a timeline on it, and instead focus on your inputs. So let's say your goal is 10 pounds of muscle and you're like, I need it by next month. Well, that's not really the way it works, because when you focus on the outcome runs away. Instead, what you should focus on is the inputs. How many days a week are you training? How much effort are you putting in each session? How much effort are you putting in each rep? How good is your form on each rep? Are you tracking your macros? How often are you tracking your macros? How often are you hitting your macro goals? What kind of foods are you putting in your body? Are you putting in foods that optimize your metabolism? Or are you eating protein bars and raw and cheese and things like Chipotle that is tanking your metabolism? And maybe that's why you can't break through in the gym. Maybe the reason you can't stop fapping is because you follow a bunch of OF models on Instagram. Maybe your cue to fap is when you see them on Instagram and you're spending too much time on Instagram. Maybe you need to unfollow them. Maybe you need to focus on spending less time on Instagram. Maybe you need to set screen limits on your Instagram. The goal that you have is so much closer than you think. But the problem is you want it so bad that you're so focused on the outcome that you're losing track of the inputs. This is something that I've had happen in my life over and over and over and over again. When I wanted to move to Florida, and I was focused on Florida, it seemed like Florida kept running away from me. But once I focused on, okay, what do I need to do to move to Florida? I need to figure out my relationship situation. I need to figure out my lease situation. I need to figure out my income situation. Once I focused on the inputs, I made things happen. When I realized I was in the gym training 4 or 5 days a week and I wasn't seeing the progress I felt like I deserved, well, I started to say, instead of me focusing on putting on 10 to 15 pounds of muscle, let me focus on the foods that I'm putting in my body. And then I was like, wait a minute. Oh, I've been eating protein bars. Oh, I've been eating protein chips. I've been eating chicken and rice. No wonder I'm not seeing gains. I wasn't optimizing for my metabolism. I was tracking my macros and I was going to the gym, but that can only get you so far. And it's these things that we lose sight of. And it's the fact that we overcomplicate things. When you focus on the outcome, things seem so far away. But when you focus on the inputs, they seem so much closer. So whatever the thing is that you're trying to achieve in life, don't worry about when, worry about how, worry about what, and optimize the day-to-day. And focus on 1% better, because when you look at the big picture, it feels overwhelming. It feels like it's too much. It feels like it's strangling you, like it's crippling you. And it's like, oftentimes, anxiety and worry and fear, it's not real. Because the worst thing that can happen is probably not as bad as the thing that you're imagining in your mind. So instead, what you can do is relinquish all stress, all anxiety, and all fear to God. Because if you truly believe in God and you have faith in God, then you understand that thing that you want so bad, God wants for you too, because He put that intention on your heart. So it's not even your intention, it's God's intention. And if it's meant for you, then it's already written. It's gonna happen. So relieve some of that stress and anxiety to God. Focus on prayer, focus on meditation, focus on breath work, focus on reading the Word, and relinquish all of your stress and worry to God. Trust that if it's meant to happen, it will happen. Let God's timing be the right timing. Let His plan be the perfect plan, not yours. All you could do every single day is do your very best to focus on the inputs, put your faith in Jesus Christ, and be the best version of yourself. And as long as you get 1% better every single day, you will succeed. But it's 1% better, not 100% better every single day. Because when you try and do too much, you end up doing nothing. It's better to focus on just what's one thing I can improve on every single day. And when you do that, you'll start to realize, oh, if I just compound this over time, that thing I want has to come. But here's the thing, as you focus on 1% better every day, one step closer every day, you get better at the inputs and your 1% has more power. So soon enough, you achieve the thing you wanted all this time in such a shorter amount of time than you would have if you were just so focused on the outcome. And it's really helpful to just relinquish it to God, because things don't happen on your time. It's very selfish of you to put a timeline on any goal that you're trying to achieve. That's not how the world works. All you can do is focus on today and tomorrow, and that's it. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about how long you've been trying, because your timeline is different than someone else. And something that I struggle with a lot is like, I'll look at someone who's in the same field as me, who's doing better than me, but I know I'm better than them. And I'm like, why? Why have they had their success so much faster and so much more than me? I'm better than them. And that comparison kills your joy. Comparison is the thief of all joy, because here's the thing. When it comes to comparing yourself to others, you have to realize you don't know how they grew up. You don't know what their beliefs are. You don't know what they've been through. You also don't know what they go through every single day. They might have that success that you want, but they might hate who they are as a person. And here's the thing, like, the way God works is for you to have the thing that you want so freaking bad, you have to earn it. And God's going to teach you lessons for you to achieve that thing. So maybe the reason you don't have it yet is because you're blind, brother. God is trying to teach you a lesson. He's trying to show you something. He's not going to reward you with that 15 pounds of muscle, with that wealth that you want, with the freedom of not being strapped down by your vices until you learn what he's trying to teach you. The reason you don't have it yet is because you're not learning. Because once you have the success that you want, you're going to forget that God gave it to you. And what's going to happen is he's just going to take it all away. So in order for you to have that success long term, you have to understand God rewards you tenfold. In the book of Joel, there's a quote where God says, "Have faith in me. I'm going to give you all the time back that you've lost and more." Don't quote me on that. It's not exactly that. It's something along the lines of, have faith in me and I will give you all the time you lost back and more. So where you feel like you're wasting time, remember, all work is profit. And just believe in God. Trust his plan. So here's a summary of everything that I've said. It's like, instead of focusing on why don't I have the thing? How do I get the thing? Focus on what is God trying to teach me that I need to learn so I become worthy of the thing? What are the daily inputs and daily habits that I need to develop to become worthy of the thing? Because in order to have whatever it is that you want, you have to become the man who's deserving of the thing before you have it. You can't say, oh, I'll have better habits when I get the thing. I'll clean up my eating habits when I get jacked. I'll stop jerking off when I am not addicted to porn anymore. That's not how this works. You have to develop the habits of the man you want to become because you are a product of what you do every day. You are a product of what you think about. In order to change what you think about, you got to change what you do, because even though you might have some bad thoughts does not mean you need to act on them. Just because you don't feel like going to the gym doesn't mean you don't go to the gym. Because in order to shape yourself into this person that you're trying to become so you can have that thing you crave and want so bad, you got to focus on developing the habits of that man today. How can you become that man today? What does he do? What does his day look like? How many times is he praying? What kind of foods is he putting in his body? How much effort is he putting into his workouts? Those are the things you got to focus on. And once you develop the habits of the man who's deserving of the thing, and you trust God and say, God, I give all my stress and worry to you. I trust your perfect time. God will then give it to you. But here's the thing. When it rains, it pours. Whatever you want, if you give it all to God, when he gives it to you, he's going to give you that and more. God is a gracious God. He wants to spoil you. He is a great father. But here's the thing, my brother. Look, you're never going to have these gifts from God until you realize you don't deserve any of it. It's not you. That all the things that you have in your life that are blessings right now, you didn't earn them. God gave them to you. And the sooner you can understand that and build that faith and trust and relationship with God, brother, he will give you everything that you want. Just be a servant of him. Focus on the inputs. I used to be so stressed and worried. My anxiety used to literally cripple me, bro. I would be so scared to waste my time, so scared to fail, so scared that maybe it's not going to work out. Maybe people are going to judge me and they're going to, make fun of me because I said I was going to go do this thing and I failed. But once I just realized, I just got to give all this clarity and I got to give all this anxiety and all this stress and worry to God and focus on myself and my inputs, all my stress and anxiety went away and I started to sleep like a baby. I started to sleep better. I started to feel more happy and more joyful, because whatever it is that you want to achieve, you have to understand, once you get there, there's another mountain to climb and it never ends. So until you could stop and appreciate right now and what you have right now, it's going to be very difficult for you to ever really feel that success that you want, because there's always another mountain to climb and it never ends. So knowing that, enjoy now. Take a breather every here and there. Spend time with your loved ones. Live. Live. Life is not always a test, my brother. Life is a gift. To feel negative emotion, to feel sad and stress and worry is a blessing. To feel anything is a blessing. Because when you die, you're all-knowing. When you go up to the pearly gates, my brother, you're all-knowing. Meaning you don't feel emotions. You just know everything. There is no sad. It's a feeling of blissful love, and it's the best feeling ever. But humanity is the only chance you have to experience emotion. And once you realize no emotion is bad, life is such a gift. Because even the bad emotions that you feel, you get to feel. That is a blessing, bro. You're not an empty vessel. You have feelings, and that's a blessing. And as a man, the beauty is all the pain you go through and all the pain that you feel is a weapon. Instead of using that pain to drown in more vices, in more sorrow, and say, why me, and fall into self-pity, instead of running from that pain that you feel, that girl who left you, that job that you got fired from, that thing you said you were going to do and you failed, the shit that fucked up person said to you, that fucked up shit you saw as a kid, instead of running from that, embrace it. Stop hiding from it. That is one of the most powerful things you could do, because once you do that, you could then use that pain as a weapon. Because any day you don't feel motivated, any day you don't feel like showing up, you remember that pain and you use it as fuel. And when you do this, you focus on the 1% every single day. You look at every single thing as a blessing. When you understand God is shaping you into the man you need to become, then all your pain is part of your story, and it all happened for a greater reason. And understand, God, why me? Why do I go through all this pain? It's because he's going to bless you so much more than the pain that you felt. If you believe in him, if you trust in him, if you focus on 1% better every day and stop worrying about when and stop worrying about the outcome, and focus on to today and tomorrow. That's all you need to do. And the best way to hear the voice of God clearly is to eat foods that are whole foods, to make healthy lifestyle choices, to drop vices, to focus on your energy levels, your mental clarity, and feeling good, because they say your gut is your second brain. And when you have a gut feeling, brother, that's the voice of God. That's your moral compass. And if you want to hear that clearly, you got to stop poisoning yourself with alcohol, with drugs, with procrastination, with too much scrolling, with, negative foods, with fast food and seed oils and all this crap that's destroying your metabolism, giving you brain fog and causing mood swings within you. It's very hard to build a relationship with God when you're not operating at 100%. So the very first thing you could do is just clean up your eating habits. Live a healthier lifestyle. Work on developing a relationship with God. Worry about what can I do today and what can I do tomorrow to become better. And that's it. Not 2 days from now, not 3 days from now, not a week, not a year. Don't worry about the outcome. Just now, bro. Live in the now and enjoy life. Enjoy the negative, enjoy the positive. It's all a blessing, brother. So I know you feel like there's been this weight on your shoulders, but I want you to let that go. Breathe and give it to God. Just give it to God. God, thank you for everything. God, please take this stress and this worry away from me. God, please reveal to me what I need to learn today so that you could take me out of this period of famine and into a period of abundance. These are what you need to pray to God. Spend more time with him. Read the word. Focus on yourself. Surround yourself with good and positive people, like the people in my community, the people I coach, all these brothers that are on the exact same mission to level up in life, to build a better relationship with God, to clean up their habits, to break through plateaus, to become as successful as possible. These are the men that are in my community. These are the men that I coach. These are my brothers. And if you want to be a part of that, bro, just hit the link in the description and book a call, and we can see if you're a good fit to work together. But I just want you to know you are so close to a breakthrough. Never quit. Never give up, because you are this close. I trust you. I believe in you, and I want to see you win. Love you, boys.